me start by saying welcome to my channel. I'm going to be in and out of here. So I wanted to just talk about what I think of Japan. See, a lot of people don't realize it, but Japan is a very beautiful country. And maybe a lot of people do realize that. I just don't. I've been living here 3 years. Out of the 3 years I've been living here, I've noticed a lot of problems with Japan. Excuse me as I do my laundry. But being here for 3 years, there's a pretty dark side to Japan. A lot of Japanese people don't see it for themselves because they're Japanese. But being a foreigner, you do notice it. You do see this big underlying effort, stress, all of this shit that they do to live their lives in their culture. I think the biggest thing about Japan, the biggest worst thing about Japan is the fact that the culture, very suicidal people. But you'll never know that just visiting here. You only see the outside. You don't see the inside. So you come visit Japan, oh, it's so beautiful, it's clean, it's safe. But once you come here and you live and you raise a family here, or you try to, survive as a family here, well, yeah, you start to see the huge difference in how it was in a place like America where I come from. And the way Japanese people are being here in Japan. Man, sorry for all the noise. We live near an airport. But yeah, the challenge is living here and not being able to have the freedom that you used to have when you come from a place like America to here. I think the biggest problem I see with Japanese people, they got too much privacy. They got too many fears, too much mental shit going on up here. I think if I knew Japanese and spoke Japanese language, I'd probably be better off. A little bit better off. I still can't cope with the fact that Japan has this big privacy issue with you wanting to film and they being in your film, they don't like it, but you can't tell that to none of these people about all the other cameras out there that are filming them anyway. Like for example, dash cams in cars, security cameras in stores, traffic intersection cameras, building cameras for security. Oh, they just look at that as security. But you're still being filmed every fucking way you go. You don't see it as a problem that a foreigner wants to film and you just happen to be in his film or her film and you got a problem with that. That means you're either doing something you ain't supposed to be doing, like cheating or something, or you just at the wrong place at the wrong time and you shouldn't be there. Cheating. If you ain't doing anything wrong, you ain't got to worry about being in somebody's film. But it's their way. It's Japanese way. They want privacy, so you have to abide by that bullshit. So, another thing that I really see that this place has a problem with is foreigners. Especially if you don't speak Japanese. They look at you like, why are you here? What are you doing here? Don't you have a country you can go to? But the thing with understanding that, you move here because you love your wife and because she's Japanese and she had a choice of who she want to love. Not that she's 95% of all Japanese here, that few 5% that they allow in. You're not that 95%. And you simply don't belong here. You'll never fit in here. Japanese will never accept you. For the way they think on that part, with the migration of other races in this country, the way they think, I hope the yen do fall the fuck down, and they have to go into a depression, just so they'll learn how important it is to, allow people to come here, and if they choose to live here, they live here. We know it's small, it ain't much room here for growth as far as like. Putting 1 billion people in one spot over here, the place to be overrun. You understand that? So it's more or less Japanese are not trying to say they're racist and keep everybody out. It's just that it's a small motherfucking island. Not enough residential support to accommodate so many millions of people. I think on average it's like 2 million foreigners every year. I don't know about Tokyo, but I think that's Fukuoka. So, yeah, the norm for me. But yeah, it's a lot of shit that you got to get used to when you come to a place like Japan. You're not really welcome, and you're not really not welcome. It's just that they have their preference on what they would want to be, more comfortable for their nation. And having a lot of foreigners here is not comfortable for Japanese people. I'll say that again because I was fucking with this, but yeah, Japan is just there's a lot of dark shit about this place, and it has a lot to do with the culture, in my opinion. I mean, Japanese culture, if you go back, it's a lot of traditional, we'll say steps, or we'll say there's just ways that they like to have things done, and perfection, at every angle possible. But Japanese people are not perfect in any fucking way, and that's no race of people are perfect. Nobody's perfect. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I want to be perfect. I can never be perfect. Not the type of person that I am. I'm not perfect. But the thing I understand about that perfection that Japan wants to try to, put as a facade or some type of I don't know, it's just the way they look at things. They want you to think that they have such a finesse way of doing it. Yeah, finesse. But living here in the past 3 years, I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't see Japan being, having any type of real finesse. I mean, just to give you examples, they wreck. Driving here, they wreck their cars. They get into accidents. They have accidents. They're not perfect on building buildings and well, I ain't gonna say they're not perfect on building cars, but they do have a good dominance on that part. They do build some nice cars. I have to admit, my 2 favorite cars is the Supra and the GTR, and that wasn't made famous by Japanese people being here in Japan. Nah, it was made famous by Mr. Paul Walker and Fast and the Furious. Yeah, okay, but and you go from there. But anyways, Japan, they're not perfect at making a lot of things that once you live here and you see for yourself. There's trash on the ground. There's places where they just litter like crazy, and they not litter like crazy, but there's litter. You understand? There's a lot of things that they do here that, like in America, Japanese people have their high class rich society, which You pretty much got to bow to these people because they have more money than you, not because they're human and their upper echelon status. Because they're human, it makes them a better person. It's just that they have more money than you, so you have to give respect to the more money, not to the human being. The age thing. When somebody 1 year older than you, you got to give them a lot of respect for the fact that they're just 1 year older than you. They could be 1 month older than you. They could be 1 day older than you. They're older than you. The respect level, the how you said, the chain of respect. In a company. I work for 2 companies here, and the 2 companies I worked for, one was a restaurant, which led me to believe that that Japanese people ain't as clean as you may think they are. And I worked for a gyoza making factory, and just to be honest with you, the gyoza making factory was cleaner than the restaurant. They had some, but it was more or less that they were more clean in the respects that they would, they were more focused on that part, But in a factory, in any factory you work in, you're gonna see a little bit of, how Japanese people like to keep things, in a cordial manner, But at the restaurant, wow, wow. I ain't gonna say the name of the restaurant because Japan is big on that deformity, but how you said, defamation. They don't like you defaming nobody, especially a restaurant. That's pretty much made a name for itself here. They'll go right to the courts and sue you right away. But the place I used to work at, this restaurant I used to work at, it's located right there in Nakasu. I'll say as much as Nakasu. I ain't gonna say which one it is, but the place in Nakasu, and the one restaurant that I worked at was located in a hotel. So I'm not gonna narrow down any more than that because then you go look. People might come here and come looking for it. But anyways, it was pretty bad. And me being a clean person that I am, coming back from a military mindset. Organize this, organize that. I didn't see that with those type of Japanese people. And then I get this how you say this overall how you say it, the societal differences and how these people are over here because it's a foreign tourist area, and Japanese that work over there are just the lowest of the lowest people, like ghetto minded people in America would go to ghetto. It doesn't matter white, black, or Mexican or whatever. In America, if you're in a ghetto life, you live in a ghetto lifestyle. Well, this place where I worked at, in the area it's in, is considered ghetto. It's a lot of bars and a lot of different small restaurants and places, for tourism, mainly. But the restaurant had a little bit of a traditional Japanese food, or it's a food tradition that they kept. And, they had a motto where they would say, weird is good, weird is the new norm, weird is the new thing. And the part that I paid attention mostly to about this place, this restaurant, was the fact that it wasn't clean. I seen roaches, bugs, every fucking where, and I just and the people that work there, it's always going to be a Japanese person that runs the management. There's always going to be a Japanese person above the management. There's never going to be a foreigner that's going to be in the place of a management position here in Japan, as far as I see it, as far as what I've seen over there and in the gyoza company. So the Japanese management, they were surface cleaners, literally. They just clean on top of the surface and go on about their business. No, as long as people don't see underneath it, which is what I saw when I started working there, I was appalled. I was like, oh my fucking God. I eat with you people, and it's when I first started working, I was one of those people that just looked on the surface of shit and said, oh, that's clean, that looks clean, It's not until you really start to just kind of like get in there and start to really see it. You start to see the dirt, the slime, the nasty stains, because Japan is so, there's so much conformity here that people do the same thing over and over again. You start to see the wear in every fucking thing that they touch and use, and it's like, Japan don't want to spend no money on, buying new stuff or whatever. If they can fix it, why replace it, it's hard to work with, you know, that type of environment. Once you see it, you cannot see it. You know, it's like, holy fucking shit, man. If I can just show you some, and I'll put it in, I'll put it on the short where you can see in the short. I'll just show just part. I won't show the name of the restaurant or place like that or anything like that, or where the, you know, where the place is. I just put it on the short. I'll show a little bit of video. So if you can, you know, watch that video. I'll show you a little short on what it's about. You know, what I had to go through, and look for it. It'll be right here on Just Human. You know, but yeah, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. I'm like, God damn, these people are nasty. Oh my God, they had slime, dirt, bugs. I mean, the coffee machines, the underneath the sink areas, underneath the where they just normally keep using shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, they wash dishes, but even I was washing dishes there too, right? And holy shit, when I went to wash dishes, I had to pause because the dishwashing machine, you know, there's like, they got like soap that they use, and they use, you know, a machine that dries and stuff, and they use a drying agent in there and all that other stuff, right? Well, the little sponges or the towels that they use, now this is a cleaning towel, you know, it's pretty clean, it's white, right? It's not dirty, anything like that. Well, yeah, a little bit of dirt on it, whatever. But it's because I just finished cleaning and I'm going to throw this in the washing machine. But they use towels to wash dishes with, or they use sponge pads, right? And these sponge pads had, I mean, just rice, trash, all kinds of gook on it. And I watched a couple of the people working there. They were Japanese too, and they were cleaning the dishes with this sponge. And I said, what in the fuck is that you're using to wash the dishes with? Glasses, plates, everything, forks, you know, chopsticks, whatever. They were just cleaning with this fucked up gooky ass fucking sponge, and I'm like, man, what in the fuck is that you using? Replace that. And they had new ones right now. I'm like, why are you just using it until it turns into this slime ball, you know, of shit? I mean, like, people eating up. I'm drinking out of these cups, and I just noticed. I stopped eating that. I'm like, holy shit, you know. And then there was a situation where, you know, like, you know, I'm changing the subject as far as the cleaning part, but you know, it's a little off that Japan society, it's almost like cheating is like normal to them. It's part of a relationship. And being that, you know, you see the uncleanliness, and you know, the you look beyond the surface and you start to see the people. Whew. I mean, the people here in Japan, they seem like they nice and they cool to you. But like I said before in another video, I haven't seen my neighbors in 3 years next door to me. Never. They don't even look at me. They don't look at my wife or my kids. They walk past us. If they have to walk past us, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna go the other direction to exit, to get out. They won't pass us or anything like that. They don't come by. They don't say nothing. I don't expect them to come by, but you know, if you need something, or you want to ask a question about anything, or you just want to talk, anything like that, you know, get to know people. It's not like in America. Japan don't do that. They don't have that free liberal way of just, you know, saying hello. You got to go out in public and notice somebody and say something to them, and you know, but your neighbors next door living to you, fuck no. I mean, if I spoke Japanese and you know, I understood Japanese much better, I think maybe it would be different. But you a foreigner and you black, man, you scared the living shit out of the women over here. They look at you like you some fucking giant ape, and I ain't gonna fucking lie. They look at me like I'm an ape, and I ain't that big, only 215, 20 pounds. You know, I stand 6 foot tall, you know, and I'm like, I got a big stomach, yeah. I mean, but I don't mean to come off as a, you know, a monster to these people, but that's how my neighbors look. That's how my neighbor's wife, the guy that they married or whatever, that's how they look at me. Like she look at me like I'm a rapist threat to her. Like, what the fuck wrong with you, bitch? Get a life. Get a life. Get a fucking life. You know, think. Go smoke some weed, you know? But yeah, the situation in the restaurant, you know, like I said, cheating is a norm. you know, in Japan, it seemed like it's a norm because one of my coworkers at the restaurant, he was caught, you know, and this is the first time I've seen this since, you know, in America, I have never seen it, but I've heard about sexual harassment. But here, when you witness it, you see it with your own two eyes. And, you know, like a friend told me, you know, that I had to hear a New Zealand guy. He told me, he say, you know, because he's married to one of my wife's family members. And he told me like this. He said, hey, man, welcome to Japan. He said, I'm going to tell you, coming from America, he say, you have morals about shit that you see and things that you go through in America, not here. Throw your morals out the fucking window. And I didn't know what he meant by that until I witnessed for myself, seeing a Japanese guy at the job that I work at, the restaurant, just was treating a woman like she was literally like a piece of shit, you know. He would slap her on the ass in front of everybody, laughing, giggling and shit, and grabbing her crotch. The girl was, I mean, poor thing. She finally went and told on him, and, you know, told the company that she couldn't take it anymore. And, you know, he ended up getting fired and losing his job. And, you know, it was just the way he was doing everything. It just seemed like he didn't give a fuck or care in the whole entire world. Now, and the guy was married. But, yeah. Anyways, I'm in this video by saying that Japan needs weed. That's what I'm going to say. This place definitely need weed. I mean, they got low birth rates. There are a lot of single people. Every store you go to in Japan, they sell single people food. They don't sell no, you know, you got to go, literally got to go to Costco's just to get a bundle of shit just so it'll last you a couple of days or at least a week. You know, and it just, I mean, it's just, you really got to be prepared in your mind to come here and live here and want to, you know, abide by how Japan is. You know, as a foreigner, I say no. Don't come here. You know, and I say this to Japanese people. I'm here. I'm not a threat to none of y'all. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck where you from. I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't give a shit if you rich or whatever. I'm not gonna sit here and act as if I'm, you know, I'm better than you, and I don't expect you to act like you're better than me. I don't care for the culture shit like that. You know, in the sense that I'm not gonna disrespect anybody, but I sure the fuck don't have to sit here and respect you because I don't know you. You know, and I don't sit here and just go around acting like everybody is this. I give everybody respect, benefit of the doubt type of respect, but not to just say, oh, how you doing? You know, and nah, I don't need to do all of that shit. You know, once I learn the language, yeah, then I'll become more, how you say, I'll become more engaged in how Japanese people, and I'll make another video talking about that. So please subscribe, you know, if you want, if you like the content, you know, and give the video a like if you like the video. Thank you guys. Just Human out.